Today we're going to be learning the very simplest type of lantern to make. We're using a brown paper bag and some push pins and a candle. So what's going to make this into a lantern and not just a paper bag is a light source. There's different kinds of light sources that you can have. You can buy these at dollar stores. It's just a little battery operated light. It's not as bright a light as I like, and it's also plastic, but it's extremely safe. You will not be in any danger of creating fire with that. This is another variety of little light. Some of these flicker to make you think it's a candle. Those are also fine. They're also plastic, not my preference. What I prefer is real flame, so an actual candle that references the light of the sun, the fiery warmth of the sun, and that's what we're celebrating with our lanterns. You can get these little kinds of candles and just any ordinary jar. If you put your candle in there, it moves around quite a bit. So I encourage you to go for a walk on the beach, take a little baggie with you, find some clean sand, and then just bring home a little bit of sand to put inside the jar like that. Just enough for two reasons. One, it's leveling the convex curve so that this will now just sit in there nicely and not move around. And also the sand provides a little bit of a protective heat transference so the jar doesn't get overly hot. My very, very favorite is a beeswax votive candle. It smells beautiful. It's already in its own little glass jar. It's beeswax, bees, sun, flowers, nature. It's a natural connection to winter solstice. To decorate the lantern, I've gone out and I've chosen a variety of leaves here. Harvesting from nature, from your own garden, just anywhere. Just get a bunch of leaves. These ones are different sizes and shapes. What we're going to do is tape these on. I'm just going to tape it on there at a little bit of an angle. And you can get as designy and lovely with these as you want. And the color doesn't matter at all. We're just using these for their shape. So what makes these good types of leaves for the paper bag lantern is that they're small enough to fit on the surface. They're interesting different shapes. They'll be easy to trace. That's what we're going to do, is trace their outline and some of the veins on them. I'm going to show you the way to make the holes in these. You can use push pins. Ordinary push pins are really great. I've got the beautiful antique hat pin that I like to use. It's easy to hold and I get a more delicate hole with it. I've also got this very customized pokey tool. I don't want to poke holes in my table. I don't want to scratch my table, so I'm going to put the bag on top of a surface that I can poke into, which in this case is just a piece of cardboard. And I'm going to position that on top. Now, when I poke through here, it's going to go right through to the other side. So I'll have the same design on the other side. If I don't want to do that, if I want to have different designs on each side, what I'll do is get a newspaper, fold it up, and insert that in the middle. All right, I'm ready to start poking holes. Start with the pokey tool, and I'm tracing the outline of the leaf. Let's use another tool to do the veins in the middle. And your hands might get tired, so take a break, shake your hands out, use a different tool for a while. The bottom of the bag is where there's the most light because that's the height of the candle. So that'll be the area that you want to have the most interesting shapes, and just make sure you add some details down there that you want to see. So now the next thing is to untape the designs. I can reinforce some of those holes. Some of them didn't go through quite enough. So this is really easy. We've poked all the holes there, but the sides are folded in. So now when we open it up, we're going to get these quite lovely random little holes that are the accidental result. But just to ensure, again, safety, you don't want it to burn, just make a little bit of a fold on the top here. Just fold this top edge down. Now it stays open. So I'm going to light it up. And it's got its sand and it's inside the jar. And then we put that down in the bottom. Make sure that you never leave your lantern unattended, even with the folded top to keep the bag stiff, even with your candle inside the jar. There's still always a potential risk of the bag catching fire. So never leave it unattended. And there you have a really simple paper bag lantern that is safe to use. I would love you to share what your creation has been on solstice night, that we're all together, wherever everybody is, just sharing it, sharing the joy of this beautiful lantern that you've made. The simplest thing, you can make that in 20 minutes if you want, or you can spend hours on it, but just share what you've done with us. We'd love to see it.